McMahon.
Yes.
Hi, Amy. Herb Forgy.
Here.
Steve Drakulich.
Here.
I'm sorry, Steven. Steven's not here yet. Liz Gilman,
Yes.
David Singer, and Gene Wall. Gene, thank
Here.
you. Okay, did everybody get a copy of the minutes from the last meeting? If you didn't, let me know. How about, let's put it that way. May I hear a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
So move.
Thank you, Gene Wall. And do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor. I will go through the list. Mayor, in favor?
Yes.
Chief Strahan, in favor? Chief, you're on mute.
Yes, yep.
Thank you. David, in favor?
Yes.
Carol. Amy, in favor? Amy, you're in mute.
Yes.
Thank you. Herb, in favor?
Yes.
Steve, in favor?
Yes.
Jen, in favor?
Yes.
Liz, in favor?
Yes.
David Singer, in favor, yes. Gene Wall, in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, next thing on the agenda is the temporary fire station subcommittee report, which should be fresh in everybody's mind since it just finished 15 minutes ago. So David,
Yeah.
would you like to discuss what you know?
I will. It's been so long I kind of forgot, but I'll do my best.
All right, you can
Um,
take a deep breath.
So we had our meeting today, and one of the main questions that we wanted to ask was with a contract with Pacheco Ross stood, and they are with the city, and they are working on it, and they are close. So hopefully by next week there will be a signed contract, and the contract is both for the temporary fire station work and the new permanent fire station work. But in the meantime, the good news is they are still working on drawings and engineering for the temporary fire station. So we're getting closer. The expected date to have submittals ready to go out to bid is still on track for mid-December. We had a view with Dennis and Neil with some details. One of the things that was asked was if they could put together a drawing. Dennis is going to be putting together a drawing circling who's kind of responsible for what, meaning what's going to go out to bid, what can be done by a state contract, and what items the city is going to take care of. So that would give everybody a good general idea of what's what and who's going to have the responsibility for the work. So we are on track. We set a date for our next meeting, which is November 23rd. I'm not sure if we'll have updated submittals yet by then, but we are going to talk about possibly having a meeting in between that meeting and the December 7th meeting, because we do want to stay on track for submittals to be issued mid-December.
Has there been any change in the projected budget for the temporary fire station?
We didn't discuss any changes that I'm aware of, but maybe Neil or Dennis want to speak on that, but I don't think there is. Hopefully, we talked about lowering the budget a little bit by using the state contract program that we have, so we don't have to have things go out to bid. But there hasn't been any set exact pricing on that.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments from members? Also, you can use chat to let me know if people start to raise their hands. I won't know necessarily, so go into chat room. Okay, no, nothing? David, I'm sorry. Is somebody speaking?
No, I don't think so.
That was just a technical error. Okay. All right, so then we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda. Reports from Neil Joyce and Dennis Ross. What do you have to report?
Our work
David, has been focused mostly on the temporary station, advancing the design, beginning to gather all of the front-end information. We're going to need some additional survey information from Alan and his people. Really just sort of crawling into the weeds and putting together the design spec and documents with Pacheco Ross. And we are essentially at a standstill on the permanent station until we've arrived at a purchase and sale agreement. And then we can cut Dennis loose to begin the investigation work on the permanent site.
Okay, about the overall budget for the project, in terms of reducing the budget by $500,000, can you talk about that, whether we can do that? So it would be a $17 million budget, so that everybody on this who's listening can hear what you have to say.
Sure. So we were requested to put together a budget and to review impacts to the planned program if we were to reduce the overall budget from the 17.3 million that we had produced previously to an even $17 million. And I had confirmed with Dennis and Butch and the chief that we could make that reduction in soft costs. That way we would not have to impact the program or the intended size of the building, and that we would plan for deferment of purchases of any equipment, any furniture, or any other related scope or items that could possibly be deferred if we get into a position that that needs to be done. So as of right now, we are not planning on any reduction in square footage. We're still in the range of 20,000 square feet. And we are sitting on $17 million, waiting for the approval of the city and city council to provide the authorization to go to that level.
Okay, so 17 million will work. Right?
Respectfully, David, I think it has to.
Okay. Your respect is noted. Does anybody on the committee have any questions for Neil about anything? Okay. And Dennis can't really do anything till we have the site, so there's not really anything to add there. Okay.
David, I would agree with Neil. Respect and all is our job is to make it work to the budget. That's what we're hired for. Therefore, we will do that.
Okay, thank you.
I got a quick question.
Who's that? David? Herb, go ahead. I'm sorry. Can't.
I'm not sure if this is not the proper time, but a question I have for both Neil and the design team. Can you give me an idea of what kind of time we're designing this building for? What is the life usage of the building that you're designing? Lifetime usage?
That's a great.
That's a great question, Herb. This is Dennis. We would estimate that the bones of the building should be totally usable for 50 to 75 years. During that time, obviously, there's maintenance, upkeep, new roof, new caulking. 20 years, you're going to put a new HVAC system in. But in terms of the structure, the slabs, the framework, those types of things, foundations, obviously, easy 50 to 75 years.
Thank you. So it will be updatable so that when we run into the kind of problems we have with the old building being designed in the 30s and expected to be used close to 100 years later, we won't be running into that kind of problem. We will be able to keep up with new designs.
Yes, and again, there will be some, that's another great point. There will be some additional infrastructure. For example, we typically design in a few empty conduits for future wiring for things we know nothing about. Who knows? Maybe in 20 years, wire goes away and everything's Wi-Fi. Very well could be the case, but if it's not the case, there will be some infrastructure in there to handle at least the foreseeable future.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
So Dennis, you're giving a 50-year express warranty on the building?
Absolutely, and you can come get me in 50 years.
Yeah,
David.
right.
I plan,
I'll tell you where my
I'll
gravesite
put
is.
it in my diary. Okay, so any questions, any more questions from anybody? All right,
Don't sell yourself short, Dennis.
Yeah, there might be some new infrastructure I don't know about.
all right, we're moving right along. Continuing discussion on the committee presentation, before the city council for the additional appropriation. I'll let the mayor start with that. Unless you want me to go, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I would prefer you, I didn't tell everybody at the beginning of the meeting, but I've been working at home today because I don't feel that well. So,
Oh, okay, I'm happy to help.
yeah, I will happily answer questions if I can, but I'll let you, David, go forth with that because,
All right, well, I'm assuming that a first reading is on the agenda for the city council for next Wednesday. I know Otis is on this at
That's
the
correct.
meeting, so if I'm incorrect, Otis, then please put something on the chat, but that's my understanding. And the Ways and Means is meeting on Tuesday at 5:30. So another opportunity for us to at least watch, and hopefully we'll get a couple of minutes to talk about our update so that we have many meetings in which the public can weigh in and listen to how things are developing. It's my understanding that the following is now the setup of funding for us, and I want to share this with everybody. So as you heard from Dennis, we're trying to reduce the number. There had been talk, I think, even in the minutes of the last meeting, there was 17.5 mentioned, and now it's down to 17 million. So that's a significant change. So we're going to come before. So that's our budget. And you heard how Dennis and Neil said that we're going to make this work within that budget. So how are we going to get the money for this project? Well, the council has already appropriated $10.5 million, $500,000 for the study, which was, not much of it has been spent, and then $10 million for the fire station itself. So that's already been appropriated. We're going to ask for an additional $5 million from the city that will rub up against the borrowing limits that Liz feels comfortable with, and that'll come from, I'm calling it, I'm not the professional, but from sort of the general borrowing arena. And then there's another $1 million that the mayor has found in another arena that she's able to contribute to the to our appropriation. I don't know if the mayor or Liz can maybe speak to how that's going to get repaid, but or if the city council in fact needs to vote on that. That would be my understanding that they do. So there's going to be a gap then of $500,000, and the way that we're proceeding with the $500,000 is we're talking to the library folks and the Library Foundation, and they are continuing to confirm that it's their intention with their fundraising to use their fundraising to offset their $10 million of appropriation. So, waiting to hear specifically how the foundation wants to present their information to us, but in essence, our presentation to the city council is going to be that there'll be less money to spend on the library, therefore there'll be $500,000 more that we could spend on the fire station. So I'll stop there. So the goal is, well, I won't stop there. The goal is to have as many of us appear, I guess, at the Ways and Means and the city council meeting. I don't know, I haven't thought about people talking yet at this month's meeting about it. But it would be nice if as many of us can to join in the meeting to hear how the Ways and Means and the city council is dealing with making up their mind on what to do. So Liz, do you have anything to add to that, or Anybody have any questions?
I can add to it, and certainly if Liz, you want to add to it, you can too. I just, with respect to the council, there's a couple of counselors on the meeting. I just want to make sure that between now and Tuesday's Ways and Means and next Wednesday's, that we've answered as many of the questions as we can possibly answer as accurately as we can up till now for the counselors. So if you have additional questions or needs for information, please get them to me in the next day or so we can try to compile them before Tuesday or Wednesday. And yes, if the council want, in lieu of Ashley being on here, but Otis maybe being on here, he can certainly put it in the chat or one of them can call me. I don't know who you would like to speak to this issue, both Tuesday and Wednesday, but if you want to let me know, then I can make sure that we have the appropriate people there to talk to you. I'm assuming it would be David Singer, possibly myself, could be the chief, and Neil and/or Dennis. So if you want somebody else there, that's fine. Otis does have a comment, David.
Oh, yes. Hi, Otis.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, just to answer what the mayor just said, I don't think it's necessary necessarily from Ways and Means standpoint for anyone from this committee to attend the Ways and Means meeting next week. We do not have it on our agenda. So, but City Council, I do believe it would be very helpful. So December Ways and Means is December 16th, and the council, December 15th, and the council is December 16th. And so for those two dates, we will request presence from representatives of this committee and the mayor's office and finance. Ways and Means will make its recommendation on the 15th, and council will vote all things going as planned on the 16th.
Okay, thank you.
Where did our calendar go?
Okay, so if we come to the meeting on Tuesday night, it'll be to be good citizens to see what's going on in town, but it won't be relevant to this committee. So, but it sounds like on Wednesday night, if people wanted to speak, maybe if there are people who want to speak, they would speak in the beginning of the meeting to show their support for the fire station, which would be probably a good place to start, and or just to listen. I think Otis, one more question: does the first readings on the agenda, correct?
Yes, first reading is on the agenda.
And that'll come at the end of the meeting, right?
That will be at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
I do think there could be time in the communications towards the beginning of the meeting where if counselors have some questions, it'd be great to have a representative present.
Oh, that I see. Okay, I'll come with. I'll come with them. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where that stands. Are there any questions or comments from the committee? Okay. We are really moving right along. So, I'm sorry, somebody have, oh, Herb. Herb? Okay. I think he just sent me a personal message. I
It looks like he maybe is having some connection trouble.
I guess, so I'm going to ask to go into executive session, but before we do that, we should pick a next meeting date. Seeing how things are moving along, I would say that, I mean, we have Thanksgiving is on our Thursday, and I don't know what, with the COVID, I don't know if people are going to be as busy out of town as we used to be, but do we want to go into first Thursday in December to wait to have a meeting again, or I'll tell you what, if you think we should go into the first Thursday of December, raise your hand so I can see it. Okay.
Is that library, hon? I think, Dave.
Oh, it is.
No. It could be.
December 7th? Did you say December 7th, David?
No, I said the first Thursday. Is that what it is? No, December 3rd.
I believe that December 3rd is the library meeting.
All right. It's good that, I need 5
Okay.
cell phones because everybody's trying to, first Thursday. All right, so do we want to go to the second? Yeah, I mean, does that feel okay? We'll go the second Thursday?
The temporary fire station meeting is on Monday, the next week, the 7th. So it would be
Okay,
the.
okay, so let's do it. So it would be December 10th then.
Or
That's
what's
correct.
wrong with the 7th?
That's a Monday. That's the
Oh.
7th is the
That's right.
temporary. so
Got it,
Thursday-
got it,
Yeah.
got it.
All right,
December 10th.
so it'll be December 10th at 4 p.m. All right. It's only 4:22 and we've gone through
Yeah.
8 things. All right, so the last thing on the agenda is we do need to go into executive session. So I need a motion that that we should go into executive session to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property at Main and Coombs Avenue. And I declare as the chair that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. Can somebody move? or put
So
that
moved.
motion? Who's that?
Butch.
Butch, thanks, Butch. Second? Okay, I need to take a roll call vote. No, okay, I need to take a roll call vote. We don't need to have discussion. Okay, Mayor? Yeah.
Yes.
Butch?
Yes.
Chief?
Yes.
Chief? I didn't hear, Chief.
You said yes.
Yes.
Thank you. David?
Yes.
Carol?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Oh, good. Steve?
Okay.
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Liz?
Yes.
Jean? Jean Wall? David Singer, yes. Okay, so we're gonna get out of this meeting. And Mayor, you think you could set this up? What we have to do is, I think we should just go right into it. Is that what
Yeah,
everybody?
I think we can. Just give me a minute to get locked out of this one and get that one started. But even though it says 5 p.m., I think on your invite, I can start the meeting ahead of time and it'll probably be better anyway. David's got yet another meeting after this one.
Yeah. Well, that's
go
no big deal.
to.
Okay, thank you. See you in 5.
Okay, bye now.
Mayor, just to confirm, this is the WebEx address we just got from Peter, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
sure. See you guys shortly.